Hello everyone. Oh my goodness gracious, 30 minutes? A 30-minute stream now? Oh my goodness. Well, I better get cruising along. I am doing my, I am sweaty. I am doing my third painting of the day. One of them was streamed earlier, and the other was not. So, I am just going to go ahead and get started. I apologize to the lovely commenter earlier. I said a seascape was going to be next. Somehow I got it in my head that I was going to try something crazy special thanks to the creator of 2inchbrush.com. This was their painting of the day. Never did it before. Why not give it a try? So, without further ado, I am going to lightly clean off the palette before I get more paint on my arm. I think I need a shower after this because I've been loading up the paint all over the place. I've got a 18 by 24 canvas. I put my contact paper on there. I cut out 2 ovals, and we're going to do double oval time. Oval time. As I said before, I ain't never done this particular painting before. I watched the video and I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Wing it. Very small amount of cadmium yellow. I want to make sure I get pure cadmium yellow here. And we're gonna do basically 2 paintings at once. Put it over there. Ooh, got a little smear of something there. That's alright, we'll work with it. Little bit of cadmium yellow. Already looks like stringy clouds. There's our happy accident, right? Alright, knock off a little excess paint. I'm going to come by and grab a little bit of yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. We're just going to dance a little bit of yellow ochre right up on the top area. Both sides, need a little more. Both sides. 30 minutes, huh? When I started streaming, it was going to be, it used to be an hour. Then for a while, now 45 minutes was the limit. Even earlier today, it was 45 minutes. Now 30 minutes. Dora Diamond, you're killing me. And Jay, also, you're killing me. I'm just teasing. Oh my goodness. So, got some comments happening here. Oh my gosh. I appreciate the sentiment. That's for sure. So let me come on over to my stream here and see if I can't see the comments coming up on this here. There we go. Gotta turn down my volume before it goes goo on me. There, now I can see the comments, hopefully.
I'm just
weird
teasing.
that the comments are on the top,
goodness.
so feel free to say hi. And
Got some comments happening here.
let me clean my brush while I'm waiting for some more comments. I just want to make sure that they're working.
Oh my gosh. Well, I appreciate the sentiment. That's for
Beat
sure.
double out of it
So
while
let
I'm
me
waiting.
come on over to my screen here and see if
All
I
right.
can't.
Now I'm going to
see
come
the
up here, a little
comments
bit of phthalo blue.
coming up on
Phthalo
this here.
blue. It's a pretty blue.
There we go.
It's a pretty blue.
Turn down my volume
Gonna
before it
dance
goes
a little down here.
ooh on me.
Right on down
There,
to
now
where
I
it
can
meets
see
the
the
yellow.
The comments.
Good enough.
Hopefully.
The yellow
It's weird
ochre is there
that
kind of as a
on the top.
as
so
a
feel
buffer
free to
color.
Say hi. And,
so we don't get that emerald sky
let me
today.
clean my brush while I'm waiting
Sometimes
for
we
some
want a green
comments. I just
sky.
wanna Make sure that they're working.
I don't know when. But occasionally, during a
Got a lot of it. While
painting where a storm is imminent,
All right. Now I'm gonna come up here. a
that
little bit of
sometimes we'll
halo
see a
blue.
little greenish
Halo
hue to the
blue.
sky, but
It's pretty
I don't
blue.
think we're there in this
It's a
particular
pretty
painting.
blue.
There we go.
Advance
We'll blend that a little
here.
bit later.
Right on down to where it meets the yellow. Good enough.
So, what I'm going to do here, ooh, my,
has a
I don't know what's going on here.
So we don't get an emerald sky today. Sometimes we...
There we go. My volume was turned on the computer, but it was on anyway. How odd. So, while I got this brush loaded up with the phthalo blue, let's go ahead and create a little bit of water down here. Trying to pull this across as horizontally as I can. There we go. A little bit more on the brush. And we'll do the second one. It's almost like two paintings at once, even though it's all going to be about the same painting. Just pulling in from the outside towards the middle.
Get some groceries put away.
And there it goes again. How is this possible?
Come back and start.
Not sure. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Can you guys still hear me? There we go. I guess I wanted to put that in there. Please let me know if you can still hear me. I'm just making adjustments here. Pulling some of this color in. All right. I think I'm going to forego the clouds I was going to do, but we'll make some nice clouds here anyways. I'm going to take my little fan brush here, a little bright red, mix it with my titanium white. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to take just the tiniest bit of Prussian blue. Beat some of that into the brush here. Maybe we'll have some distant clouds hanging out way in the back. This one here sneaks out this way a little bit. There we go. And with my 2-inch brush, just going to brush some of that back. Alright. Now, we can load in our clouds. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Got a couple of people online there. Certainly one of you can make a quick comment, a yay or a nay. Someone downvoted me. Oh, the horror. Alright, let's go ahead and put in a nice, interesting cloud right over here. Oh, he's going to be a big cloud. This cloud's got to travel. He's doing his best here. Travel right on through this side here. Just stirring. Ooh, a little bump over there. Kind of cover up that space between the blue and the yellow. Pretty tricky, am I right? And I'll put a little bit more lumpiness right down there. There we go. And just for grins, let's have a little guy right up there. There we go. We can't leave this spot out here. Maybe put a little bit, just fill that in a little bit right there. All right, hello, Austintina, haha, and SNDI. let's have a great time here. I'm taking a nice little 1-inch brush, and we're just gonna stir down the bottom here. Stir and stirring, trying to leave the top edge alone. He's doing just fine. We don't need to mess with him. We are just stirring the bottom out here, leaving the top edge right where it is. Creating a little bit of a blend. Soft, soft bottom side there. Good, good. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to switch right on over to a clean, dry 2-inch brush just because it's faster. Fluff that cloud up. Oh, got a little schmutz right there. There we go. This is a no schmutz painting. Come on down here and grab another little bit. Oh, let's build this cloud. All of a sudden, this cloud split off. And is now kind of its own little entity here. Isn't that easy? Isn't that nice how easy you can make changes? This is a fun one. It's already a fun one. Stir, fluff, stir this guy out, fluff it up, just like that. We get layer upon layer of clouds. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right, it's mountain time. It is mountain time again. So, I've got this color already mixed up because it comes in a tube. It's basically a mixture of black, brown, blue, a little bit of crimson. Call this our mountain mix. Okay, pull this out nice and flat. I gotta get some more napkins already. What a messy, messy painter I am. Alright, cut off a little roll of paint. And I say we're going to put this mountain kind of right up over this cloud. What the heck? And we're just going to take these little rolls of paint and we're just going to push and smear, creating a nice edge. Maybe bring that cloud, bring the mountain out just under the cloud. Ooh, get a little lump right there. Tell you what, this mountain is traveling. So this mountain, ooh, this one definitely reached up into the cloud there. Scrape off some of that excess white. And we're just going to fill that in with the dark color. There we go. Maybe a little lump right there too. I don't know what I'm doing here. We don't know what's going to happen. Ooh, maybe a big one right there. Maybe a little bit of a... I sort of see something here. He's a big peak. Maybe it travels down, just sort of fills in right there. And then I'm pushing this dark into the canvas. And then scraping off the excess. Ooh, got a little bit of a schmutz there. More schmutz. Saturday night schmutz. Just press it in there and scrape it off. All right. Well, I appreciate the extra time granted me. I want to be able to try to finish this in one stream if possible. I don't think I've done a stream this late. I've done dozens of streams on the pan. Usually I'm 7 to 9 kind of guy. And this stream started at 9:30. I don't know what I was thinking. Had a painting bug, I guess. Whoop. There we go. More happy accidents. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of that bright red cloud color I had up there. Just make that our highlight. Little roll of paint. That's what we're going to do right after I clean this brush and do another step. Fooled ya. Pulled a sneaky on ya. Broadcast paused. Well, looks like my stream has ended on Reddit, so it's just going to be a nice YouTube-only stream. Ooh, sweaty. So sorry about that. What a bummer. But people want to watch, they can come to my YouTube. They'll see it eventually. Just gonna pull down some of this excess color, get that out of our hair. Create a little bit of mist down here, the base of our mountain. Pulling this color down, wiping away the excess. There we go. Create all these different shapes here. Almost different layers of mountains. Kind of liking it. All right, now small little roll of paint. Now I'm not so concerned about trying to finish on time and doing multiple streams, you know? Let us go ahead and let's do this one over here. I guess Saturday night is a little busier. A little busier. Got a lot of peaks to work with today. All these little different things, all these little duders. Ooh, that one's got a little bit of brightness, a little bit of fire to it. I'll tell you what, before I move on, I'm going to create a nice shadow color here. So I'm going to take a little bit of this white, let's put it over here. It's about the only spot I got there. Little bit of phthalo blue, little bit of titanium white. I think a little bit of crimson snuck in there, or the bright red. A little bit of the mountain background color as well, just to gray it down, get a little darker, a little bluer. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little more of mountain, perfect. Okay. So what I wanted to do here is create a little bit of a shadow. Dance a little bit right up in there. Now, this good thing, this knife has a little short side here. I can sneak in little bits of shadow in all these little nooks and crannies that we created with the highlight layer. And then for the larger areas we can use the long end. Looks pretty good. Now, what I wanted to do here, take a little bit of my shadow color and I'm going to make this a little bit darker. Just a small amount, a little bit darker. I say there's going to be this peak, almost like our little ridge line right here. We're just going to pull that a little bit straight down. Say there's something right there. Okay. Now I'll take my highlight color, get a little bit more of this with the bright red and the titanium white. Now that I have that little background color, I'll take this highlight and just cut it off. And this hopefully is going to make it look like a little sheer shadow ridge there. Take a little bit of my standard shadow color. It's a little lighter. Just going to pull that down. Maybe it's going to mix in a little bit with it. Kind of the effect I'm going for there. A little bit of shadow right here. A lot of different ways we can do this. We get a little bit of highlight first. You can add in layers of shadow and highlights, whichever way you want to do it. Whatever order you want to do it, it works. Either way, multiple ways. You can alternate between the highlight and the shadow. Let's just zing some of that in there. And then come right back and readjust the line with the highlighter. The highlighting. You knew what I meant. Straighten that one out there. And bring it over and clean up any of the issues you might have with the first layer of highlights that you did. Get all sorts of weird little cragglies and there we go. So with a clean, dry brush, mostly clean, mostly dry, just going to create a little bit of mist. Following my angles here. Create a little illusion there that these are way off in the distance. Let's knock off the excess paint as needed. You notice here I'm not destroying them, I'm just diffusing them a little bit. think I like the most is a little tiny bit of the yellow has stuck around right here. A little bit of the reflected light still hiding up in there. And down here at the base, just got to fix my water a little bit, get it a little bit more mixed in. There we go. A little bit of sheen of light still shining through. Not as strong as it was. It's a little mellower now. So we're going to go ahead and create a nice something or other. Let's see here. A little bit of alizarin crimson, a little bit of phthalo blue, a little bit of white. Let's see what color that makes. I think you know. It's a nice lavender color. A little bit more white just to lighten her up. The lightness makes it look like it's far away. I like it. So let's go ahead and let's use the 1-inch brush. Happen to be handy. And let's see what we got here. Maybe even a touch more white. I'm going to have to come back and get myself some more white. There we go. All right, so using the corner of the brush, let's go ahead and just pull down. Create a little footy hill way back yonder. And you can make it as big or as small as your heart's content. Add a little bit more color. Find the purple color that works for you. Or make it a different color. You can make it bluish, grayish, or whatever you like. Now with a clean, dry, ooh, I got this oval brush handy. Just going to destroy the bottom, let's say half or so. We'll create a little bit of mist happening down here. And then lift up. And you know, if it's not misty enough, we'll force it a little bit if we want to. Yours might work out just fine. Mine needs a little bit of help. A little bit of helping hand with a little tiny bit of the titanium white. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of the titanium white right here at the base. The more you tap it, the softer it gets. And we'll create a nice separator, a nice misty separator. Just pull that up and that'll blend it away. There we go. A little bit of mist on this side. Small amount. And always add more. A little tougher to take it away, but it can be done. That's good enough. Now we'll come back here and let's darken it out a little bit. Move this purple out of the way. We'll come in here with a little bit of white and some of that mountain mix color. Changing it up a little bit. Making it a little darker, maybe a little bluer. Maybe a little tiny bit darker. I think that was a little bit of midnight black or your mountain color. That'll darken it either way. A little bit more. When you're doing this, you find the color that works for you. Okay? Come in here, same old brush. Maybe get a nice little thing happening there. I like that. I like this color. This works out pretty well. I say this foothill. Oh, he's climbing. And falling. Climbing. The more you tap here, you're actually picking up a little bit of the liquid white, so it might start to lighten for you. Ooh, there's a lumper bumper. There we go. So feel free to grab a little extra color should it get too light on you. And this should be relatively horizontal at the bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just somewhat horizontal. And you can tap in a couple of little extra thingies here. It's still far away, so we're not seeing a ton of detail. Can do though, you can come up here and sneak in a little interest here, bring up a little bit of hundreds and hundreds of trunks way back here. We're seeing tops only, you know, just some little fingers crawling up. Do that here and there, gives the illusion there that it's a whole bunch of things, whole bunch of treetops and so forth. A little bit of color in the brush. Grab the bottom here. Pull some of it down and we'll make some reflections. Just throwing some color out there for now. Pull some of this down. There we go. And bring it across. Very light touch. Create some reflections there. And you know, I had a little happy accident right there. We'll take care of that. Come in here with a little bit darker color. And we'll add this little outcropping here. And pull some reflections down there too. Bring it across. Okay. I say one more, just for happiness. Pull down some reflections. There we go. Now, I think what we'll do is I'm going to clean my old fan brush here. Got all that cloud white in there. And I stir a little bit crazy and get some on my fingers. Paint thinner, that is. I'm just going to take a moment here and wipe that stuff off my fingers. Don't want it accidentally getting into the paint. There we go. What I'm going to do is add just a tiny, tiny touch of liquid white, just a tiny, tiny touch. Let's come in here and grab a little bit of sap green, cad yellow. Just enough liquid white to give it a little thinness to it. And say a little bit on this, these little forward foothills here. We're just gonna push in a little bit of greenness. Starting to see a little bit. Right down there. And then on this one here, we got these little outcroppings here. I'm going to start seeing a little bit more detail. Little grassy things. A little bit of highlights. There we go. Little layers. Alright, now let's see, we'll take our small knife here, and I got a tiny bit of liquid white, a little bit of titanium white, cut across, and we'll create a little water line way back here. Very, very small, very, very tiny water line. Not going to see much detail here, just kind of give an indication where the land meets the water. A little one right here, and then I'm going to bring this one kind of in front of it. Always keep them horizontal if at all possible. We don't want to curve our water lines. That'll sort of ruin the effect. But if you make these little horizontal lines, there we go. Kind of gives the indication of depth and distance there. It's not just one flat plane, but there's little secrets hiding in there, little coves where the fishes like to hang out. All right. Oh, almost forgot. We got all these here. Try to keep them nice and... Ooh, that one got a little strong. Little one right there. If at all possible, just have very little paint on the knife. You get a little bit too much, clean your knife, and then just saw right on over it. You can make a lot of it disappear. Don't have to fret about it. We'll work with what we got. It'll still look awesome. I can always come back here with a little bit of the highlight and just sort of mash over a little bit too, whatever I didn't like. There we go. All right. Clean that fan brush once more. Oh, they're going to make up a color here. Jumped ahead a little bit. Let's just go ahead and mix up a big old pile of color that we're going to use for the remainder of the painting. We got all that mountain mix, big hunk of the brown, some of the green, some of the crimson, all that crimson, what the heck. And our blues, black, all our dark colors. Ooh, my goodness. Little soupy. All these colors mixed together at first here, but they'll all mix and make a lovely dark color. That is a big pile of paint. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Less for me to clean up. Might have to grab some brown. Oops. Probably shouldn't have used all my brown, but that's all right. And now that we did that, I'm going to load up this fan brush here with a lot of color. All that dark color we created. Look at that. Lots of paint. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drop in a little evergreen here. Let's go ahead and let's give the indication here that we're getting closer right here, right? Just using the corner of the brush. There we go. And I think what we'll do here is kind of have to hide that happy accident. I was going to make a little projection anyway, but now we'll just project her out a little further than we anticipated. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we do in this style of painting, is change things up. Try something new every time we do this. Grab a little bit more paint. Let's go ahead and make a taller one right here. We're coming down the canvas and we are getting closer. Things are getting closer as they come down into the foreground. There we go. A little something something like that. We don't really know what's going on here, but we can go ahead and make another little guy right there. I think some of that's going to get cut off when we pull the paper off. That's alright. That's what makes it look cool. I think we'll have a couple of reflections here. So we'll just give a little indication really quick. Just some branches hanging out. There we go. So we'll take our 1-inch brush here, grab a touch of this, pull it down. Drag it across very, very lightly. Create some reflections. And let's see, we got our dark brush here. We need a highlight. A highlight brush. And a little bit of the liquid white. Our cad yellow. Our sap green. You can even grab a little bit of the phthalo blue and that'll green it up a little bit. A little bit more liquid white. Grab our knife here, nice and clean. Let's add some little tiny stalks right at the tip of these. While we got a little color on the brush, just sort of throw in a couple little sticks and twigs. I think it needs to be just a touch thinner. Thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So we get it out nice and thin. in some little highlights. Let's say this tree's going to be in the back, so we'll do him first. There we go. Gotta have the brush loaded up proper here. There we go. Nice little highlights happening. So we're gonna have a little bit of bushes and at the base too. So we're gonna take our 1-inch brush and I dip it straight down into the liquid white, and I'm going to pull it through this cad yellow. I think I need more cad yellow. If you don't have enough color, the liquid white stays prominent there and it kind of turns pastel, kind of a light lemon chiffon, and we want to try to avoid that. There we go. We're trying to thin down the yellow, so our yellow is our gold color there. So nice bright yellow, but thinned with the white. Lots of paint. Look how soupy this is. Lots of paint on the brush. Roll our brush over, and we can add in little lacy bushes, and even drop a little extra in the water. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. We gotta throw in a couple of little highlights in the water of those reflected evergreens. Okay? Little 1-inch brush. Let me pull those down. That's what we're looking for. Now, where was I? Little bit of sap green we'll mix in with our color there. Thin down yellow, green. Let's make a nice little tree or bushy shape. Maybe he's a big one. He's got a couple parts to him. So we just put that in there. And then I'm going to grab just a little bit of the yellow ochre just to dull it down there. And let's put something right down like that. Okay? The green, put some in the water there. The yellow ochre, drop a little something right there. There we go. And let's take that dry 1-inch brush. A little bit more color, just right there. Very gently, we're going to pull that reflection down. Very gently, just enough to diffuse it. Clean off the extra paint. Bring this across very, very lightly. 2 hairs and some air, as Bob likes to say. Just enough so we can see the color in the water. That's all we're really looking for. A little bit of that waterline, a little mixture of liquid white and titanium white. There we go. All right. To be honest there, I'm just going to go ahead and sweep this there. I want a little bit of a redo on this waterline. There we go. Ooh, and I think even when I did the redo there, I got a little bit in the water. Kind of made a little splashy splash. There we go. Oh, now I'm having fun putting in a little bit of splashy splash. All right, moment of truth. Double oval time. Ovaltine, oval time. Oh, this is a sticky one. Just gotta do it. Woo! Oh, little hair. Little hair. All right. Double oval. I think it needs something. I think it needs something. We're gonna load up our fan brush again. We've got all this paint. It'd be a shame not to use it. Let's go ahead and do a nice big old tree. Oh, it's there now. And we'll give a little friend here. Maybe we'll have something right there, something coming down like that. Maybe a little guy coming over then this way. This way is what I meant to say. All right, let's go ahead and let's call this tree our big old main tree here. This is going to take a lot of branches here. Oh, it's coming down. It's a monster. So you may have to reload your brush several times. Some of my fan brushes, even though they're called the same size, have a little bit of a different splay to them and are a little bit bigger. Hold a little bit more paint. That's all right. This one here, it seems to be working just fine, but as we're making all these little branches, the more you hit it, the more branches it makes. There we go. And these trees just kind of blend in. We don't really know which one's which. That's just what we're looking for. We got this one here. It may be a background tree. It may turn into the foreground. We don't know. We don't need to know now. Just getting a ton of paint out here. Believe it or not, the more paint you have on your brush, the easier it is to make the trees. But the paint has to be in a nice wedge shape. Just keep drawing your paint out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just grabbing little bites and then straightening it out. So we get a ton of paint onto the brush, but in a nice wedgy type shape. And when we're doing this big mass of trees here, oh my goodness, we just load her up. I think I got one more over here, yeah. This paint is a little bit thinner than what we have out here on the mountains. That's why it easily comes off and just sticks right to the mountain paint. Okay. I still got a ton of paint here, so maybe we'll sneak another tree right here. And maybe a little guy coming off that side. Maybe two little guys. Baby trees. Whoop. Made them a little too wonky there at the top. Just want to make a quick little change. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Alright. I'm going to use the 1-inch brush I got hanging out down here and just want to create a little bit of grassy stuff. Bend the bristles here to create some little leaf type shapes. There we go. Now, we gotta highlight all these little guys. A little bit of paint, liquid white, cad yellow, a little bit of the sap green. Lots and lots of color here. So, I do know that these trees are going to be in the background here. So let's go ahead and give them a little bit of little stalks right up at the top. There they are. And I can add a couple little sticks and twigs. Just cutting through that paint, moving it around a little bit. Tell you what, I think we need a tiny bit of brown, the tiniest bit of brown. I meant a tiny bit. There you go. We'll take a little bit of our titanium white, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, and I mixed it in with the blue. Let's try that again. A little bit of titanium white, a little bit of brown. There we go. Cut off a little roll of paint. Here and there. Adding in some little trunk shapes there. Something like that. We're not going to see a lot of trunk there. And we'll cover up a lot of what we're doing anyway. So let's go ahead and the ones we know are going to be in the background, add just a couple of highlights to those little guys. Not trying to highlight every branch on our way down here, just the prominent ones. There we go. Let's see here, little guy here. These trees are all kind of blending together. Up at the top we'll be able to tell which ones are which. But as we come down, it's going to be harder and harder to tell what tree is what. Just try not to overdo the highlighting. I think this little guy, he's going to have something out there. There we go. Now, we get to come back with our 1-inch brush. And our cad yellow. Throw a little green in there. Maybe a little yellow ochre, maybe a little bit of Indian yellow. Lots of paint. Alright, that was a good one. I think I'm going to need a little bit more of the yellow ochre. If you don't have enough paint, it just doesn't work. That might have been a little too much, but that's alright. Loading in, thinning this color down. Lots of color. Nice greens now. Nice summery greens. And maybe a little bit of red hiding in there. Gotta have a little firecracker. There we go. I think we're going to just about finish up here. I'm going to take a little bit of my Van Dyke brown, drop the brush again. Maybe we'll have a little rocky earth right here. And let's see, let's take a little bit of that titanium white, light brown mixture, and let's just graze. Just like the highlights on the mountain. Let the paint come off where it wants. There we go. And we'll take a little bit of this light color here smash a little bit of grass here and there, just to set that earth down, keep it underneath. There we go. We will take our knife. Just by dropping the knife, using the point of the knife, I'm just touching and flicking up. You can even take the knife and also pull down. Just scratching right through that paint. Create all these little sticks and twiggers. Almost puts these bushes up on branches now. There it goes. So watch this. So scrape in, drop some in here, bigger ones. Looks pretty nice. And we can add some fine details as needed here. But I think it's about done. I think it looks pretty nice. We'll go ahead and sign this guy right over on the side. Little t, little s, little 2, little 0 for the year. And there goes our double oval Fun Time Fantasy. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say it. Smash that like button, ring that bell. Either way, it's alright if you do or you don't. But I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, I will see you.